All right, today is January 15th, and I just went on like a walk trying to do my 45-minute outdoor walk for the 75 hard day challenge. It's I'm on day 5, but kind of want to just make a video about sort of everything that I'm doing to better my life. Like, I know that's kind of like a broad and big question or statement, but I want to just share kind of my reflections, what I'm doing, what I figured out online, but also just so I can look back and see, if this worked, if this didn't work, because I feel like there's so many stages of my life where I have array of different problems that I'm trying to solve or different priorities, and I try so many different things, and then it kind of just shifts. And as I get older, I feel like my priorities and what I'm my priorities are kind of just narrowing down, and I'm curious to see if this will be kind of like a trend where it just keeps shifting, or I've kind of realized that, oh, this is what I need to put a lot of my time and focus on. So I think it'd be interesting to kind of see. And of course, I kind of made this for myself as kind of like my own diary, as a sense. So this is a diary entry, January 15th. Um, Last year, I got really into health and wellness. And so I've been really trying to dial in my physical health and also as well as my mental health, but I'll get that until later on. And I've been trying a lot of things, but I've also realized that kind of just like when you start caring about money, there's always like this sort of extreme to it where you're caring about it too much, you're stressing about it, like health anxiety. Where, funny story, I did like a function blood test and my cholesterol was like through the roof. And so ever since that happened, I was researching every single day what happened, what's the causes, what should I do, and I was just super anxious about it and really stressed. And then what I've learned is that your body sort of like, or like your mind, whatever you're feeling in your mind, your emotions, your body will start to reflect. So let's say you're super stressed about school, obviously your stress hormones, your cortisol is going to rise, your acne is going to flare up, maybe you start holding a lot of more fat, or maybe your sleep kind of like worsens, right? So it's very interesting kind of how, like, what this vessel that we're traveling between, how it works and how our mind is like interconnected. It's super cool. Um, but yeah, basically, like, what I've realized is it's kind of that quote where it's like, what you don't measure can't be managed. And so I realized the kind of the importance of being just cognizant of your health. So I got this Aura ring for the past year or so, and it's been kind of a game changer. Really in the sense of sleep, I used to really not care about my sleep. I used to love this quote by, I forget who it is, but it's kind of like, sleep is the cousin of death. I was this really hard grind set type of guy where I'm like, I don't need sleep, power through the night, working all day until 4 a.m., waking up early. Sleep kind of just holds me back, right? Because it just takes time from the important things in life, which is like the work and what I'm doing. But having this and having to track it and kind of being cognizant of like my performance and mental health and also physical health, it just really, really woke me up to, wow, sleep is kind of the most important thing that you could be doing to lock in your health, your physical health, your performance. My business, ever since I started really focusing on my recovery and sleep, my business, my physical health and everything has just been kind of up because I'm able to perform clearer. And obviously you're just a lot healthier. You're able to do a lot of things better. So yeah, sleep literally is like the number one most important thing. So I'm really focused right now on just trying to be consistent. So I'm trying to like eat 2 to 3 hours before I sleep. I really, really like, ideally in an ideal world, that I eat like my last food around 6 or 7, usually around there, and then I can sleep maybe around like 10 or 11. I'm still trying hard to sleep at a consistent time, because that is also super important, like the circadian rhythm. Almost the timing of your sleep is on par, maybe even more important than the length or duration of the sleep. And then quality of sleep also like matters a lot too. But the time window that you sleep, so being consistent, I think is super important. So I'm really trying to work on that. And right now what I'm doing is I have like this $10 sleep mask from Amazon. I think that was probably one of the best purchases I've ever made, like the highest ROI ever. My window in my room has like little cracks of light, and that disrupts your sleep. So just having that, and it's weighted too, which feels really comfortable. Having that just, bam, it knocks me out. I've also been taking magnesium every single night, magnesium threonate to be exact. I think magnesium glycinate is mainly for the body, and there's been studies that it doesn't really penetrate like the blood barrier or like the brain as much, but the threonate does. And so, and I've tested it out. I've had glycinate and I've had threonate, but magnesium threonate really, really helps relax the mind and really get me in the mood to sleep. Um, I've had like these red light glasses, Roca, but honestly, I feel like that's placebo. It's not really doing anything too much, but if it's, I'm fine with placebo. Placebo is kind of like the best thing in the world. So I've been wearing that just whenever I can. But then obviously, like, this probably might be like the most cliche but hardest part is no phones or screens the last hour. I've been pretty bad. I've been binge watching a lot of movies and TV shows. It's like kind of my favorite thing to do. And usually some new TV show comes out at 12, or I just get home late, I'm at bed, and it's all I want to do is watch. So that's kind of what I'm trying really hard right now to focus on is the screen time. And I even gone to as far as having another phone to have all my social medias on there and deleting all my social media on this phone. So far that's been really good. Like, I think my screen time has went from like 6 hours or 4 hours to maybe like 2 or 1 hour, or maybe like even 1 hour on social media itself. I'm really not on it anymore as much. So that's been really good. And in terms of like health, obviously, like, all the most cliche things are super true. Like, eat healthy, whole foods, 80-20 principle, get your fiber in, the protein intake. Like, it really depends on your goals, but you need protein, you need your fiber. I've learned that intuitive eating, like not necessarily tracking calories, is a lot better for me. So when I was like I used to be like really fat, right? Or just really unhealthy in general, and I was trying to track my calories, and it would be okay for maybe like a week or two, but then I just would kind of fall off, and again, it would just give me a lot of health anxiety. So now I started doing intuitive eating, which kind of sounds a little lazy, but I also kind of cheat a little bit. But basically, it's kind of like you count your calories for a certain amount, so you know what meals are what. And then once you kind of build that habit and you know what you're eating and what generally what 600 calories looks like, or what generally what 30 grams of protein looks like, then you kind of just eat based off of the meal. So right now I eat around 3 to 4 meals, usually all around 40 to 30 grams of protein. And then if I'm missing anything, maybe I'll take a chug of some chicken broth or some bone broth or some like Greek yogurt with scoop of protein, right? So that's what I'll do. But I also started using ChatGPT to kind of keep track of it. Now, it's highly inaccurate, so you have to kind of give it a lot of details, but it's not that bad. It's like, I would say like maybe 80% accurate, and you kind of like have to kind of, work within that margin of error. I told ChatGPT, I have it in a folder, to always underestimate the protein and overestimate the calories. So that way I'm like not overeating, and then also I'm getting more protein, hopefully. But also I realized that I need to also invest into myself. So I got adult money, right? I got a job. I have money to invest in myself. So I've been kind of cheating again and getting meal prep, which honestly now I wish I'd been doing that for like the past year or two, because I was working out so hard. I was putting so much effort in, but I wasn't really making a lot of progress because I wasn't consistent with my meals and my diet. And I can make a million excuses. I'm busy. I run a business. Yeah, whatever. But this really just lowers the friction and really helps me. And I think that if you're in a position where it could make sense, then you could do it. It's super expensive. It's like $200 a week, which is kind of lots to me. But to me, it saves a lot of time. It's helping me stick to my goals. And maybe I'll do this just for a little bit. I don't plan on doing it forever, but I think it's kind of worth it for now. But yeah. And then what else? Yeah, and then also I've just been kind of working out like a lot. Like, I feel like that's just like super normal. You just want to like be active. Muscle, like a lot of compound lifts. That's what I've been kind of doing, and I've been getting a lot stronger and a lot leaner. So compound lifts. I'm doing the 75 hard challenge right now, so I'm like working out every day. Kind of like a lot. It's really hard. Like, recovery is kind of like my most important problem right now. But yeah. What else can I say about but my physical health. As you can see, this is not like rehearsed. I'm literally just like my log. But I've kind of just realized that, I really didn't take care of my body like when I was a kid, or even just like a year ago, or up until now, really. Like my early 20s, up until literally this year when I stopped, I treated my body terrible. And I would always kind of joke like my body's a temple, but really I desecrated it. I was smoking like almost every day. I was drinking almost every single weekend. I was door dashing, eating like crap. I wouldn't get enough sleep. I wasn't really paying attention to it. I was really just focused on making money. And that's like the oldest, moral of the story, motif, oldest trope in any single like hero's journey is like the wrong priorities, or focusing on money. Scrooge McDuck is like, that's really what happened to me. I was focusing on my the money instead of like my physical health, my mental health, and my relationships, and all of those were faltering. All those were faltering for a long time. Like I was actually addicted to smoking. Thankfully, this year I decided to quit, and I've been, a year sober, which is awesome. But kind of just reflecting, like, damn, I like really, really treated my body bad, and it's really hard not to kind of punish yourself even further. Like I already did that for years, but it's really hard not to be like, oh, you're so stupid. Why'd you do that? And I'm trying hard not to do it, but now I'm like, I can learn from it, reflect it, know where it came from, and vow to never be back there again. And so that's kind of why I'm on this kind of health journey. I'm really trying to figure out how to better myself. And I also had like a ton of acne. I still do like a lot, but it's been a lot better. I've been really focusing on that, lowering my health, but also like my brain, trying to like take the right supplements, creatine, reading out loud, trying to really push myself further, because really like we're only here for like a little bit, right? We're literally a blink in the night sky. I closed my eyes. I was 18, I closed my eyes, and now I'm off to college, or I'm out of college. I blink again, I'm almost 25, right? And I just feel like, why settle for mediocrity? Why not push yourself to like the highest limit? Why not treat your body like a temple, really master the vessel that you're in, the skin and the body that you're in for the rest of your life? Why not master? Why not treat it like the best? Why not try to hone these skills that you have? Try these things, swing big. Why not? And so that's what I'm really trying to do with all facets of my life, with health, with mental health as well. I've been reading a lot recently. I've been journaling a lot recently. I've been kind of being more vulnerable with everyone, my girlfriend, my family. And these are things that I sadly enough, I wasn't, but now I'm really trying to, because what's the point of holding everything back and kind of living with all of these walls? I find life's a lot more enjoyable, a lot more beautiful when you are open to attacks, when you are more vulnerable, when you show people your softer side and you're not trying to portray or perform as whatever. And I think that a lot of times that I was doing that, I wasn't really showing, my true self, or kind of like being honest with myself and with other people. And so now I'm really trying to do that. And it's a lot of work. I'm still trying to do that. But reading and journaling every day, hopefully doing this, takes all these anxious thoughts, all the minds that's been in the back end of my, my soul and my heart, and my mind, into the forefront, kind of just out there. Because we're super highly complex creatures. Even if you don't believe it, you think you're a simple guy, we're super complex. We have dreams, we have aspirations, we have faults, we have worries, we have anxiousness, and yeah. And so I'm really trying to work on that. So that's kind of like my mental health. Like I'm really just trying to like read and trying to better myself. It's really cliche to read. Like I feel like you need to read like the better like books. Like a really good book will kind of update. It's like a software update. So I'm reading School of Life. I think I posted a video about it, and it's been crazy so far. And then in terms of like maybe business and wealth and kind of like career wise, I'm trying to swing bigger. A lot of my life, I feel like I was playing it safe. Even though I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a content creator, I have a business, I was still kind of playing it safe and scared of making a mistake and being embarrassed. I think the only reason why I'm here is because I got lucky. I started posting content when TikTok just arrived, and I saw success relatively quickly. I don't know that if I spent a whole year without getting a success that I would keep going. I don't know. I think that I was really adverse to being embarrassed, really adverse to failure. Like I would take a lot of things personally, um, and so I'm not too sure. And so I feel that those ramifications now when I'm in a comfortable state, I'm making a good amount of money, I have some stuff, but I feel like that I have this itch to create more, to have more impact. But I'm scared of failure. I'm scared of being seen. I'm scared of putting all the work. And I feel like I'm just being anxious and really contemplating about the work that needs to get put in rather than like the outcome or the things that I really want to do. And that's really just to be impactful, to help, and to really do that. And I feel almost like I've been like lazy. I've been doing the bare minimum, and I've been always kind of like that in school and life. And I don't want to be like that. So I'm trying to really trying to like swing big and just try things. If things don't work out, who cares? If I make a mistake, who cares? I'll learn from it. It's like the most fun part about life is figuring something out, that eureka moments. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Um, it's kind of just an entry vlog. I think I went in this having like, okay, I want to talk about this, but I don't really even think anyone's gonna watch this. I think I'm gonna be able to watch this later on. Hopefully, maybe my kids will see this and be like, "Oh, this is what Angela's going through." But yeah, we'll see. Thank you for watching, future Angelo. Shit.